I was gonna say the only reason why I
or
said
Red
Drake was
Alone.
had like we had to do an R&B Drake feature Drake. He got too
Nah,
much.
but I think like I can't speak on it extensively, like Deon and them, but
Oh yeah,
I think it is
I really can't either though.
me
Honestly,
listening lately, me listening lately tracks I think would make it. You should probably put like a title or like we discussing in case people want to come in the
oh yeah,
comments.
let me see. Yeah, you're right. Somebody might want to come in
So,
because '94 we was like five. So let me see.
nah, but
Nas
like I know what sonically
Mox
sounds,
versus playlist.
but I
Go ahead,
think
bro. My
like
bad. I was
unquestioned,
just
like so I think unquestioned, uh the world is yours would be on there.
yeah. I think that whole album besides
Damn
Mine.
near that whole album almost making it. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's see. The second track is New York State of Mind. You know that's making it.
Yeah, I guess we could start going through catalog, see what make it with my album.
Yeah, we don't have to just do Nas, but yeah, we can start with Nas.
No, but I'm saying you could start with them going through,
I got you.
like start from Illmatic, but like damn near most of them are going to be from like the first
The first album, he gonna get
four
at
or
least
five
8.
albums.
Because Life's a Beat got to be on there. Like that's
I'll
cool.
put it like this. Yeah, that's definitely. I'll put it like this. Outside of Illmatic, maybe we should start there. Songs outside of Illmatic.
Yeah, let's try to get like 12 outside of Illmatic. Then we gonna get 8 from Illmatic for sure. Like 8 out.
Yeah. So like, I think definitely one mic is making that.
Yeah, one mic. Yeah. So
Uh,
Stillmatic, or we can go to Stillmatic then. So now, what else on there?
one mic. Even what's the name? It's not. It's
The
before
Hero.
this. I think Nas is like. It's
Oh yeah,
definitely.
yeah, for sure. That's I am. Yep. Uh,
Uh, Hate
Hate Me
Me
Now.
Now
Yep,
is definitely
for
making
sure.
it. Uchi
Why?
Wally. Let me
Wait. Why,
stop.
what's her boy name?
I said Uchi Wally. Let me stop.
No. Hey, what Vlad? He just act like Nas ain't had nothing. He was just talking about because Charlamagne was like, "Hey, me now." He was going crazy. And he gonna say, "Oh, it got Puffy on it." So it got Puffy. Like he a hater, bro.
He would have
Just because it
qualified.
got
I
Puffy on
think
it don't
what it
mean nothing. He
is
never said he was a rapper, bro.
I think this is the problem with it. Because actually, if you ever get a chance to listen, just Google All Roads Lead to Jay-Z, but listen to Jay-Z's Charlie Rose interviews. Older white guy interviewing Jay-Z. But like someone made a quote and it was like, if you want deep
Charlie
lyrics,
Rose.
you get Tupac. If you want flashiness, you want Biggie. If you want something like that, you want Nas. It said if you want the bravado in the streets, they were saying 50 Cent. I got to get the whole quote. But it was talking about all these different artists. And it
Yep.
said if you want a person that can do them all, get Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Right?
Did Jay Z say that himself?
No, he didn't say
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Charlie Rose pretty much read a quote that someone said it.
Okay. I
I
got you.
think what really hurt Nas, and this is just going back to the DJ Vlad thing, I think what really hurts Nas is, I think, and even Jay-Z was talking about in this interview, he said, I think sometimes many people got caught up on his singles when he wanted to have fun and when he wanted to
Yeah.
talk about
Nas.
certain things, the flashy
Yep.
stuff of like
He couldn't do.
change clothes.
Yeah, he couldn't do
That
change clothes, or he couldn't do. I just want to love you. They didn't let him do it. Well,
they
he
did it,
tried, but
but he did it. But it was like they where Jade was able to do that, I won't say Nas refused to. Jay did those fun songs, but he had the B-sides that balanced it out. So a lot of times people hate Jay or hate Drake because they be like, oh, all them niggas make is just fun party music. But what end up happens is they end up ignoring Jay-Z's B-sides. The problem with Nas is I think so much of the purists are what pushing them that people that just want to have fun, they that's
I know
not
what
what
you
they
mean. I
go
know what you
for.
mean. They
That's
let
not
50.
what
50 got away with like they let 50 make Candy Shop, but Nas can't make that.
But see, the problem, and that's why that quote said Jay does it all, and that's
Yeah.
why we rate him high. 50, like I said, his gimmick got old. And then he went from dissing people to I
Trolling.
want to not even troll, even before the trolling. Remember how he was? What up, cuz?
What up, though?
Oh, we
I'll
was talking
just
about how
catch you
50
up
was better
right
than Jay
quick.
Z.
I'll catch you up, but like,
But okay,
No, you wasn't.
I know. But go
huh?
ahead, Trey.
No, I'll catch you up. So what we was saying was, of course, it went back to the infamous DJ Vlad thing about Nas beat making. And what we're doing is, he said, if like Nas was doing a versus, we were starting with songs outside of Illmatic
Illmatic, yeah.
that would make it. But what I was going to is, I'm like, what I would just pretty much catch you up to speed on is, I think Nas, we allow all the artists to get placed in boxes,
Yeah.
and we didn't allow them, one, to just realize this is what they do, and two, we just let Vlad just push. Let's be real, we let him push a terrible narrative, or she let him push a terrible narrative, and
Yeah.
they never went out and explored and listened themselves. So like
Yeah.
me, I can be objective and fair. All right, Nas is a bad beat picker. Now you might not like the Get Down. That's a different beat. That's a different cadence. Made You Look. It's a different beat, different cadence. Hate Me Now. Different beat, different cadence. You get what I'm saying? Even
Yeah.
on an album like Hip Hop Is Dead, that people might not like. You get what I'm saying? Can't Forget About You. Different.
Yeah.
I think sometimes where people get mad at Nas, and now Kendrick is appreciated for, they don't like when they get these unorthodox beats that
Yeah.
everyone can rap on, like a Bridging the Gap or the Get Down. I'm a Drake fan. Drake would not be able to rap on no beat like that. Most artists can, but he's
Yeah.
that gifted that he can do it at a high level,
Yep.
gives you substance and display high skills, that I just
Yep.
be a hater. I think the only one that can really do that I've seen is probably Kendrick. They get
Well,
those different
that's why
beats.
his work with Hit Boy recently has been essential for people who don't know.
Yeah, because it's modern beats, and it showed people like, oh damn, well, he could have did it. He
Facts.
just chose not to.
Yeah,
And
well, but
Nas.
you got to think what we talked about early, a long time ago. Is people made him like not be able to do certain things. Like if you look at the way his thought process was when he apparently talked to J. Cole homeboy and told him he didn't like that record. That's kind of like how the box he lived in his entire
You might have
career.
to mute yourself, Dre.
That's the box that Nas ended up living in, and that's why he said you made you own me. How could you not relate when J. Cole was on that track? But everybody always killed Nas every time he went where something could be a different. Oh, look at that! Like, he was the one out of the elite group of guys that didn't have any freedom other than to pick orthodox beats and just stay hip hop with
So would you say like, and we gonna get back to what you wanted to do, Dre, but do you think albums like to not even To Pimp a Butterfly, but when your first album, your first mainstream album, like a Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City, or your first mainstream album is a Illmatic, you just give straight bars, art. I think really the only fun song that Kendrick probably did was Poetic Justice. You get what I'm saying? On that. But Nas just gave you straight bars. Let's say he go, or let's just do it better like this. Let's say It Was Written as the first album. How do we look at Nas going forward if It Was Written was the first album instead of
his
Illmatic?
lane is wide open. Because I like Change Clothes, right, by Jay-Z. If Nas makes that song, they call him everything other than the Chowder guy, dog, for real. And I
He
like
sold
Chase,
out, right? They gonna say he sold out. He lame.
but he don't. But he can't do it though. Like y'all could do it, but he can't. We put him in a whole different thing, and it probably kept us from hearing some dope stuff. To be honest with you,
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Like I was telling him, have you ever? Yeah, I think he was probably serving. But what I just revisited was Jay-Z did like 3 different interviews with Charlie Rose, and it was a quote about all these different rappers that a journalist wrote. It was like, uh if you want thought provoking or something like that, or deep, you want Pac. If you want stuff from the streets, you want like a 50 Cent. If you want luxury, you want Big. You get what I'm saying? But it was like, if you want a person that does them all, you want Jay. And that's why he was elevated high. Whereas it seemed like from the beginning, Jay, for somehow, I guess because the way he came out, he just did everything. We let him do that. Whereas 50 came out thugging, we expect him to just thug. That when he went to the whole singing love making stuff, it's like, nah, dude, you corny. So it seemed like somehow Jay-Z was really the only rapper that, until Drake came, that we allowed to really do. Jay, before Kanye too, because Outkast really didn't do no street stuff. But I'm like, Jay was the only artist that we had let you, all right, he could talk about drug dealing, then he could be corporate. You get what I'm saying? And
yeah,
unfortunately, other rappers didn't get that same grace.
yeah, man. Uh, Jay got a lot of freedom. Um, I think the person in hip hop with the most freedom has always been Three Stacks. Uh, but yeah, the guys got restricted and put in the box. And I'm like, y'all act like 21 questions don't get Richard not trying. Okay, so we gonna act like he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, wasn't it PIMP on there too?
Yep.
Yep.
So people get a short memory, when it comes to try to hold certain. See, for me, the reason my thing with 50 was I thought at a certain point he ended up relying too much on his hooks, and I'm like, nah, man, I need bar. I need because I know you could do it. Like, I could listen to Power of a Dollar right now. I could listen to 50 bars of pleasure, 50 bars of pain. I could listen to it, but he got. And honestly, when you get so rich and you do a lot of other stuff, I understand. I ain't hating. We end up getting good TV shows out of it, I guess.
Yeah. So like I said, going back to Nas, whereas, everyone wants to hold, of course, Illmatic being a perfect album. And it seemed like we always had that same conversation. People want him to chase that. But the crazy part is he put out bodies of work that's just as good. But because it's not that, he's going to get, spit on. And I think that's why I say, let's say It Was Written came first. He's not held to that standard, even though that's a damn near great album too. He really
Yeah,
came off.
and some artists prefer
Yeah.
it to, you know what I'm saying?
I won't lie. I think it's different. I always go back to like the first album. I think It Was Written was the better album, but Illmatic just has the better song. But how everything flowed, structured, you see the growth in
And the
2 years.
anticipation was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the intro to Stillmatic, he addressed that. They thought I'd make another Illmatic, but it's always forward I'm moving. Never backward stupid. Here's another classic. So at the end of the day, what Jay-Z said, hey, if you want to listen to the old Jay-Z, go buy the old Jay-Z
Yeah.
album.
You want my old
That's my
shit,
favorite
my
one.
old
Oh,
album.
niggas, my old album.
Yeah.
Niggas think I'm stupid. I
They
gotta keep it moving.
go listen to it. I'm cool with that.
So, and that's why I say it's all about structure too, how things come. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people probably won't say Reasonable Doubt is Jay's best album. So it's like, it's damn near like perception. So it's like you see a guy, his first album is Reasonable Doubt that was slept on, that was good. But then he dropped Blueprint. years later, you like, oh shit, he got better. And then it's kind of like some corny stuff like, oh, Nas didn't get better, but Jay did. But it's like he
Like
started
y'all
like
crazy.
with the
Yeah.
mechanism of what you call an album. So it's
Yeah.
damn near like he go out, average 35 as a rookie, win the ring, sweep the titles, and then you're gonna get mad because he didn't replicate that, but he still put up numbers going forward. I don't
One
get
thing
it.
I do think that Nas could have benefited from, Jay had done, Big had Puff. Nas had Jungle. Jungle was talking about shooting people. Like like you can't, like his that Ja Rule had Irv. Nas is that crew's entire everything. Jay literally, and Jay had Biggs too. Let's not act like he wasn't there. So at the end of the day, that whole Puffy making Biggie do Juicy, that don't exist for Nas. If he say no, it's no. Ain't nobody there to be like, come on, dog. Like you got like try this one, throw this on there. No, that don't exist. And he's still Nas. That's crazy because he don't have that. He didn't have that crutch like a lot of the other great artists had. If you're an Eminem fan, he had Dr. Dre to go say, no, go back in the booth and do this song. Period. So you look at your list, you got Kendrick, right? Top Dog and Punch could be like, you gotta put this on it.
And let's be real, because it's like, I know you're not a Drake fan, but
Mm-hmm.
one thing that's always constant in his sound is his two main producers are Boy Wonder and 40.
And 40.
So that's his sound. It's never you already know what sound you can get. Even if you go and work with a Metro Boomin or someone else, if we
Yeah.
want to find that Drake sound, it's that.
Yeah.
Jay, if you want to get to that true essence of Jay, well, damn, he worked with the top guy. You can either go
Yeah.
to a Timbo bag, a Swizz bag,
Yeah.
Kanye, and Just Blaze, and you gonna find that. And then the stuff you do with No ID, because you know it's one of those things. Like, all right, did they enhance him or did Jay make them? You get what I'm saying? Like, of course, Timbaland and all them guys were it, but it's like I'm talking as far as Kanye and Just. We really didn't know them cats until
Right.
really Blueprint and Dynasty. Well, Dynasty was like Kanye's coming out party. Just Blaze was, Blueprint was Just Blaze coming out party. So
Yeah,
it's
man.
like, and he attached himself to that soul sound
Yeah.
as well. So it's like, dang, this
Right.
guy's a mogul. He talking about all this. Because like I said, I went back, I'm looking at interviews from '04. How he talking in is he was like talking about progression and growth. He said,
Mm-hmm.
you saw that guy went from being 18 to a drug nod and transition to a mogul. So we allowed him to do that, whereas we didn't let we want Nas to keep teaching this. We don't let him be able to start talking about being a mogul. We want him
But
to stay in that same lane.
the guy's essential though. Because while Jay-Z is going through his transitions, we get to see Dame cussing people out in offices, and we see the Hard Knock Life tour. He yelling at Kevin Lyles. Like, we get to see these things. We get to see Puff on there with all the lip gloss in the world and a shiny suit, and you got Mason. And you get to see that. So being Big, if he would have lived, been able to start to make them transitions, because he was making it. You could go from Ready to Die to Life After Death, and you can see it. So those people who had that, you got to think about your greatest known list. Like, if you talk about Outkast, they had the Dungeon Family, Rico and all them was like, yo, y'all got to do this, you got to do that, you don't do this, you don't do that. Rockefeller was a crew that had all that. I don't care if you're talking about Rough Riders with DMX when his star shot through the sky was crazy. If you think about it, Nas was doing Nas as Nas in the midst of everybody having all of that, which is why he almost got with Murder Inc.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Troy froze. Put it on the data, cuz take it off the Wi-Fi. That's what I be doing.
Oh yeah. Hey, but we didn't really get that far. We had one mic. Nas is like and Hate Me Now.
That's
These are
what.
songs that we didn't really go
Oh, you
deep
talking
into
about
it because we
if
had
he did
came
first?
on now. Yeah,
If he
if we
did,
did a versus, we can skip Illmatic for now because we gonna get like 8 songs off of there. We need like 12 outside that.
oh well, Troy just sent the message with you.
Let me see. I'm about to get them back on.
Yeah, but if you talking about a versus,
It
you
probably
gotta
depends.
you gotta like you gotta spread them out, right? But I'm gonna tell you, you gotta have I gave you power in there.
Yep. Okay, I gave you power. That's what I was gonna say. That's where I was going next. I was like, you got to because it's
Yeah, you gotta have if I rule the world. It's
yep.
just about where you place them at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like if I rule the world for sure, because that's Lauren Hill. That's a hit. Oh, here go Troy right here.
Yeah,
So if I
you
rule the
got
world, I'm trying to see. That's off. It was written. No, that's I am right. But it
you
was
gotta have
written. It was weird.
you gotta have make you look.
Made you look. Yep.
You got to. Um,
I love
he
Get
would.
Down, but I don't know if it's just top 20 though. I love Get Down though. That's my shit.
I love to get down, but yeah.
We talking about
And
Nas here. That's how
he's
this.
not he's not gonna allow you to put ether in there. So don't even.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say just. I don't think either in his top 20. I mean, I don't know, bro. I just don't think.
No,
I
I
think it's like
think
20 songs better than that,
This,
honestly.
this is all. I was on 7 Mile and 7 Mile before Murray Hill at the gas station. That song came on the radio and nobody moved through the light when it came on.
no, I put it like this. You hit it on the head. Ether is iconic. It should make it. I think it would make it, but out of respect, it wouldn't
He don't
make
even
it.
perform no more.
Yeah. Like even like I think Takeover is one of Jay's best songs, but I
Yeah,
don't think he would play it now, especially given his age, what he's doing. He's
right.
gonna probably like, why would I do that? Why would I
Man,
play
Plus
that right now?
Prodigy
they got
passed away
business
too.
together. Man. We don't even know about it. They got business together. They ain't doing
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Oh my
too
bad.
much
Before
respect.
you cut off, I was gonna ask you one question. Would the media with the masses have allowed Nas actually the stuff he was actually doing? Because see, he had to do the stuff behind the scenes. The crazy part is Nas did it. Well, bump it. He's doing what Puff, Jay, all these guys are doing, building his own. Like I said on Nas, it's like he's talking about invested in stock. Would
it.
we have allowed him, or would a better question, would y'all have allowed him to start wearing the suits, being a businessman? Would y'all have
Yeah,
let him be the record executive or
as
the
long as they
president of
wasn't
Def
shiny,
Jam?
as long as they wasn't shiny, yeah. Nas can't be no record exec, man. Nas is an artist. Nas would probably wouldn't even come to the building. You know he'd be vanishing, right? Like, but like all the other stuff, yeah, for sure, for sure. We never. It was the right. It was the sources, the double XLs, the hip hop media that influenced the hip hop fans.
Go out and say it. Did J Bob the media?
Yeah,
Did J
they were.
Bob the media?
Well, you got to think, man. Where we got all our information from when the source came out, and somebody dope was on the front, we bought it. I remember when all the Wu Tang was on the front of that mug. We bought that thing. Like you did it. So we actually read the articles back. I know people don't like to read no more, but we actually read the articles.
Yeah, I remember, like, I was in 7th grade. What was that one magazine? I remember Right On magazine. I
Yeah,
remember all those things where,
yeah,
and we would read the articles. No, we was a
yeah,
reading. It was an internet. So I think that's what people need to realize too.
yeah.
It wasn't internet. We had BET, we had
Yes,
MTV, and we had
yes,
to read the magazines. So if
yes,
you was deaf on the cover of those magazines, you was looking like the guy. Shoot me, I was on Sports Illustrated. So I
yes.
couldn't wait for I made my mom get a subscription. I couldn't
Yep.
wait to get every cover. And I can remember, like, man, I was 13 or turning 14. And I remember when Kobe mug shot was on Sports Illustrated, I damn near wanted to cry.
Man,
I picked it up and I was so hurt. And my mom looked at us. But I remember it. But I would always read every article, get up on college sports, that
That's
was
right.
our media. And
Man,
that's
I
why I
was
think
reading
sometimes
Smith
people,
and Street, all that stuff back then, man.
Game Informer, if you like
Yeah.
video games,
Yeah.
Game Informer was big. So like
Right.
I think sometimes people gotta realize like when we telling these stories, you gotta encompass it all.
Yeah.
You gotta look at how your media was distributed, who had a stranglehold on it, who was the gatekeepers on that. Just like as the internet has gatekeepers now, the
Yes.
Breakfast Club is a gatekeeper. You know, they making Joe Budden one, academics, all these, cats.
Yeah.
106 and Park was a gatekeeper. Yo, God was big. If you was number one, if you was in that top 10, or if you had an interview, that was big. If
Don't
your
forget
favorite
Rap
rapper can
City
rap
in
on
the
Rap
basement.
City, that meant something.
Rap City in the basement.
So that was big. But no, that was just to say that. But we go back to the list. Because I think what we started with was like, B and Dre was like songs outside of Illmatic. Because we know that's going to fill in a lot of that would
Yeah.
make it like a 20 song or
Well,
honorable mention type thing.
I gave you power and made you look once you froze.
And
Yeah.
if I rule the world,
And
so
if
Yeah,
I
if I ruled the world, but
and
definitely.
me and Trey had Hate Me Now. Nas is like in one mic, so that's 6.
yeah, I think he got to close with one mic.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
I
he
would
got
say
to.
if I was Nas, for
Come
me,
on.
it's difficult. But for me, it would be a range of even between The World Is Yours, Nas is like coming before one mic. But I
Yeah.
think that's like that upper echelon of like if I'm really trying to get somebody out of here, I
And
want
for
you to meet
me,
that
Real.
level.
What about
for
you're the
me,
man? Make it.
I need I need No Ideas original.
Yeah.
I need him to rap that thing, and I need him to cut the beat off when he say, "My genesis is deep, my features is that of the God, it's not a facade." I need him to drop the beat right there, and he
Lil
don't.
brother love that song, bro. He always talking about that.
Because when I heard it, my brain blew up. Like, what the freaking fuck? This is crazy. Oh,
Lost tapes, do
I
rags.
think like one thing I think this the crazy part with about Nas too is just when I look at him and just listening now because it's weird. It's like me listening recently. I'm like,
yeah,
damn, it's like it's making me a fed. It's like I see how y'all
yeah,
cats got so enamored because it's like one, how is this guy putting these phrases together? How is this guy dropping the beat? You get what I'm saying? You like really see it. I think the crazy part is the mastery I'm seeing out of J. Cole and Kendrick now.
yeah,
I was seeing that out of Nas at age 20 and 22.
yes,
It's like, damn, this is not fair. How do you already come in this good? You get what I'm saying? Even
yeah,
me being a J fan, Reasonable Doubt is very wordy. He
yes,
didn't really know how to make a song. He probably didn't master song making for me until like maybe volume 3, like Dynasty album, and then Blueprint. It was like, damn, this dude is nothing he can't do. It's like it's not fair. By
yeah.
Blueprint, it just looked like a damn walk in the park. But Nas already came in like that.
Well, I think Nas and Rakim have something in common. They both have a jazz background.
Very musical.
Yes, they have a jazz. Rakim says something about how he writes his rhymes where he draws lines on the paper and then make dots where his bar is supposed to fit. That's some I read music sheet type of stuff. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying?
next level.
Yeah, that's that what he made. He said, "I want to see how many bars I can fit between these dots." It's like, dog, that don't even sound right. You a robot?
Right.
Yeah,
That's why people need to understand it's a difference. Listen, with no beat, it's easier. With no beat, you can rhyme like the battle rappers. They have like a whole bunch of they rhyme like boom, 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 boom. It's like, but the beat you can't do that. Like,
That's right. That's why a lot of them guys don't sound the same in the studio.
nope.
it sounds very forced because let's be real. If you rapping acapella like that, you say like 4 nice bars, the crowd interrupt, You don't got to keep it going.
Yeah,
Right.
hold up.
Hold
Can you
on,
go?
hold on. Don DeMarco.
Hold on, let me cook this nigga. I'm not done cooking this nigga. And then you go back rap.
I do love that rap though, for real. But I'm just
Why
saying.
some of these guys don't sound good even on their freestyles on bars on I-95 and Funk Flex. I was like, dog, you need to do this acapella.
Hey, Trey, what Cassidy was saying? Trey, you stupid. It was like
Bro.
some 2001
Walk
bar,
up,
dog.
now all I see is stairs, man.
Right. He'd say something like "I ball," like that's an old punchline, bro.
Bro.
Anyway, hey, do Silent Murder make it? Do live nigga rap make it? The Message, Street Dreams.
The Message makes it to me. I think the Message def makes it.
They got some. What was I thinking about? What about Got Yourself a Gun?
Oh, I was just thinking about that too.
Rewind?
Oh,
Was it too short?
I don't know. Rewind is one of my favorite songs ever, but I don't know if it's a versus song.
okay.
Yeah, I look at it like this, right? Of course, everyone wants to see Jay Nas, but let's just say something like, hypothetically, he go up against Wayne, and Wayne plays the mob.
Yeah.
What would Nas respond with? I think you need songs like that.
Look at
You
Deon.
get what I'm saying?
I'm coming with the Stillmatic intro off rip.
No, I get what you said. So it's like Wayne, his first song, Muppet. I want to just. I'm letting you know I'm here to fight. I'm gonna play the mob. What you coming with me with?
I'm going Stillmatic intro. But y'all know what? And you know what I found out in verses. You know, you listen. A lot of guys do verses. You know that. I'll bring Missy out and do Hot Boys out there with y'all.
He
I
can.
think definitely performance means a lot, and when you play a song, means a lot, and how you deliver it.
Well, y'all know it's gonna be boring. It's not boring, but Jay-Z and Nas don't really move around a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be like it's gonna be a crowd there. Like
It's gonna be cool.
if we play I Gave You
It's gonna
Power,
be
they'd be happy. They'd be like, oh yeah, this my shit. But that kind of crowd, they're gonna like that kind of music.
The purists will like Jay and Nas. That's why I feel like they both would need to go against somebody that would make them go unorthodox, make them do songs that won't just make you bar yourself bars to death. Like we would want to see a bar fest.
It's gonna be
But
too
if
many
you want to
bars.
have fun, like you had to do a weird matchup. That's why I say like, what Nas doing if he go up against Wayne? Even though we know he get out of there, I feel like you would see more of his catalog.
Yeah,
if he goes against someone like that. Because if I go out, Jay do like where I'm from, Nas gonna do Nas's life. It's like the hell we see in a mirror match. Because all they gonna do is play songs that mirror each other.
Yeah, President versus World is Yours, right? Like, come on.
Like, all right.
I'm gonna have my
Jay go against Kanye. It's different.
Yeah, it's gonna be different.
He's gonna have to do different songs.
Yeah, I say Jay-Z against Kanye.
I have my DJ keep saying who's the best MCs, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. Wow, flip that whole.
You would have to do a lot of. You're right. You would have to keep doing that.
Hey, what about I Can? No, I'm just playing. I'm joking. But what about
what they should do if it was me? And I thought the Locks and Cam missed out on this. I thought the Locks and Cam should have ended with that DJ Clue, the professional part 4, where they all on the same joint. I thought they should have ended with that, and I think that Jay and Nas should end with Black Republicans.
Yeah, that's the best song.
I think the crazy part to me is, and I'm kind of glad it didn't happen because it's one of my favorite songs by Jay, and I really feel like during that time though, the public probably would have fucking my language. Of course, everyone would have rolled dog, but I guess what Irv said, Nas was supposed to be on Can I Live? Like, how does that happen if we get that version? Or
that's a perfect track for Nas. That beat.
I know. That's why I'm kind of glad he wouldn't know. Cause Jay was in pocket, I think, but it's like, man, Nas would have stayed Can I Live?
bro. That's you know what's weird is Jay-Z and Big was supposed to be in this group called
The commission.
the Commission.
Hmm.
But now I tell a story about him and Big was supposed to be in a group. I think it was called the Commission too.
That's why Jay was like, "Oh, Ho was gonna always be Ho if he would have got the commission and Biggie was still alive." Jay Z was saying I would be the same person.
And let me tell y'all a weird story, man. It's random. Black Thought and Beanie Siegel was in a rap group together when they was like 10 years old.
Are
Oh,
you serious?
Philly, man, Philly.
You
Yeah.
caught this story. Do they have songs together?
Say it again.
Did they ever release songs together?
I think that was the plan, and I think when Beans went through all his court cases, and get shot and all that stuff, I kind of threw it off because they say Thought is a guy you got to catch when you catch.
My
Because
bad. We catching his feedback on you, Dre.
You said what?
that ain't me. I'm in.
No, I was letting him go, but I'm saying every time Deon's feedback always pick up on your camera. That's why I was
Oh,
just
okay.
saying, like, always just mute when he talking.
Yeah, they said he's very like he's so busy. If you don't catch Thought while he there, he gone. Because they talk about, man, he used to be in Detroit at Jay Dilla house. At Jay Dilla crib in a D. He got joints from Jay Dilla. Like him and Royce was supposed to do, they've recorded a bunch of songs, but they never finished it because now he on all he done the roots in Paris somewhere, and then he on the Tonight Show, so it's hard. But they definitely got to do something, dog. They
Do
got to.
Common and Thought, do they have songs together? Common and Thought?
I
They
think they
seem like
are on
the
the
same
same track on
length.
that Black Star. I think they on that Black Star joint together on that album, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah, it
dude,
just seemed like a perfect mesh. Like,
yeah,
like damn near they should have been a group. Or he should have, that would
yeah.
be a dope one because I think they were showing like a list of, and we could make it a topic one day, but like artists
Mhm.
who would do a perfect compilation album that probably haven't worked together or don't have a lot of songs yet. And I think a common, because I think sometimes now